Welcome back to Music Business 101, where I assume that we are all new here and I explain different facets of the music industry from the beginning. I'm Kristen Robinson. I'm a music business reporter at Billboard. In part 1 of this series, I talked about record labels. In part 2, I'm going to talk about artist managers. What is an artist manager? I'm so glad you asked. An artist manager is quite possibly the most important part of your team. I would argue they are the most important part of your team. They are often the first person to sign on with you, and before you bring on anyone else on your team, like a record label, a publisher, a publicist, whatever, the manager's kind of doing all of it. And also, as those partners come along, like let's say you have a bunch of interest from record labels, your manager can help you sort through that and figure out what the best possible deal is for you. Managers are typically paid about 20%, it varies, of what the artist makes. Now, 20% is a lot if you're representing a big name artist, but 20% when an artist is a starving artist is basically the manager working for free. And this period usually lasts for years. And the worst part is for managers is that sometimes you try to build up an artist, you develop them from the beginning before anyone else cares. And then when they get big, they think, these bigger managers like me, I'm going to go with one of them. Unlike record deals, where essentially the label will get some form of IP, whether it's a license or in perpetuity, and they have you locked in for a fixed term, managers often work on handshake deals, or when they do paper their deals, they're not usually super binding. And because this is a norm, and a manager can't really force you to do that very often. Although sunset clauses are common, so basically if an artist were to leave their manager, that manager would still get sunsetted out with some money. Being a manager means you are right by an artist's side through the highest highs and the lowest lows of their career. And that is the best and worst part of the job. It's also a job that has basically no barrier to entry. There are so many artists these days, over 100,000 songs are being released on Spotify every day. And a lot of times people will bring on their first manager as a random friend who can help them out, or their cousin, some random guy on the internet. And yeah, sometimes those unknown random managers end up being the next Scooter Braun or something. But also sometimes they can fuck up your career, so there's that. One more thing to note on managers is that as artists wait longer and longer to sign record deals and try to develop themselves in plain sight on places like TikTok on their own, managers do more work for an artist than ever. Often, again, for very little pay. You're now seeing a lot of management companies that really beef up their company to basically look like a label. And you'll also see a lot of hybrid companies that start to crop up where it starts as a management company and then they move into label and publishing. And this, honestly, is just a byproduct of the fact that they are working very hard and they have very little job security. So yeah, that's managers. They can be the most amazing, important people in your life that do all your dirty work. They look out for you, they strategize with you, they pick you up when you're down, or they can be totally incompetent because of the no barrier to entry thing. And if you want to learn more about the music industry, check out Billboard on the Record, my music business podcast.